that's how I was raised. The people in my family that have some kind of decent money have construction businesses, but you can see as they get older, their body's wearing down. They're always working. They don't have much time to spend with their family and stuff, and that's my priority.
Welcome back to another TFT podcast. Today we're joined by Taylor. He's coming to us from Utah.
Yeah.
He's had a little over $13K in payouts at TFT Trader. So welcome to the podcast. First podcast you ever been on?
It is. Thanks for having me.
Let's go. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm stoked. Let's get
it. All right. So coming to us from Utah, like, what did you think when you got the invite to come out?
I didn't believe it at first. So I'm out here. What prop firm do you know of that flies their traders out to Miami? So I love working with you guys.
Let's go. For me, it's obviously I'm a bit numb to it because we've invited so many people out at this point. But if every time I hear someone say like how cool it is to come out here and this and that, right, it makes me think about it. I mean, the reality is if I was home sitting and got an email that said, "Hey, come to Miami and for free," basically, I mean that's exciting.
Yeah.
No matter which way it shakes it. So obviously to get to this milestone where you get flown out to Miami, like you achieve a payout, all this stuff probably took a lot, right? So bring us back to the way beginning. What year did you start trading and how was it when you got started?
So I've been trading about 4 years. Got in around 2019 before all the COVID chaos. And I had my introduction through social media. I have a couple buddies out there in Vernal that run crypto YouTube channels, but eventually, after diving in the rabbit hole, I found my place in the Forex market. And after flipping accounts for a few years, I really started to find my success with prop firms and TFT in general.
So you're doing the account flips.
Yeah.
Dude, literally everyone says they're doing account flips. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it gave me a bad start, or at least bad expectations, because I put like $250 into an account to start and went full margin, made a little over $5,000, and then lost it shortly after in the crypto market, and that's how it happens.
So it's crazy. Like that is so insane though to even flip 250 to $5,000.
Yeah.
Right? Like how were you feeling when that happened?
I was just, that's where all the greed kicked in, and from there, it's just been more managing my expectations to know that that's not sustainable or realistic. So I'm maturing as a person and trader and just trying to shift my mindset around that, just look for more longevity.
What motivated you to originally get in to start trading?
It was the money and the lifestyle that everyone pushed on social media.
Yep. And around this time, like what were you doing, right?
When I first got into it, I was an electrician and just working construction. I'm in the oil field industry now. And so it's really long hours. It's not a really sustainable lifestyle.
So blue collar.
Yeah.
Super blue collar. So obviously when you're working this type of job, it's probably difficult to trade during work.
Yeah.
Or you can't, realistically, right? So when you first got started, like were you, and even now, when were you actually trading? Right? Like how many hours were you putting into this?
It was still all at work. I would just be on my phone throughout the day. When I got off work, it was late into the Asian session, so there's not the volume that I'm looking for at those times.
Yeah, Asian session's terrible.
Yeah, but at least what I'm doing now, I'm more or less just sitting there like in my post for the whole day, so I have time to get caught up on all my education and take my trades. Usually catch the New York session in the mornings. And then the goal is to just take my trade and be out, and I don't want to hold into the Asian session. So I'm primarily a scalper.
Oh, so you're a scalper.
Yeah, trade gold.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, we were talking a little bit about this at dinner.
Yeah.
So scalping on TFT obviously isn't ideal, right? There's a lot of, there's spread, there's slippage, there's commissions, right? How do you manage to scalp, and what broker do you use?
I was using 8 cap. I guess there's been changes that they don't offer them on the 100K account anymore. So I'm going to go through a purple trading and see how that goes. But it really doesn't take much. If you're looking for 0.5% to 1% a day, you can, get your 50, 100 pips and get out. It happens quick on gold. So,
And you're exclusively on gold.
yeah, I've had some success with Euro USD dollar pairs, but I've really had my breakthrough with gold. And it's easier for me to manage focusing on the one pair.
There's been a lot of gold traders that have come through here that are scalping and trading gold, right? Why do you feel like it's a good pair to trade? The volatility?
Yeah, the volatility. I can be in and out within an hour or so. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the move.
So let's walk through then in terms of how you're trying to execute on gold, right? Let's walk through what you actually do to get in a trade. Are you marking up your charts in the week, like during the week, right? Like how do you go about getting in?
Yeah, I'll do my weekly check-ins on Sunday, and then I'm just checking in daily, looking for I'll form my bias on the 4-hour to hourly time frame, and then I'll execute on the 15-minute. And I would describe my strategy as looking for stop hunts or execute on like the extreme points of structure where, let's say it's bullish and we get a pullback where normally traders would jump in on a breakout. I'll be trying to fade the move. So that's how I look at it. Just catch my pullback and get out.
So you're trying to do the opposite of the masses.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, who taught you that?
I've gone through a lot of different educators and mentors and just have taken like what I can from a lot of them and just adjusted my strategy to fit my personality. And
you seem like pretty chill, dude.
for the most part.
Yeah, you seem like pretty calm.
Yeah, just
Pretty chill.
yeah. I guess stress management would be a big thing with work and stuff because yeah, when you have all that extra stimulation and stuff going on, it's not ideal for a scalper. So it would be cool to be a little bit more isolated.
Have you tried other strategies besides scalping?
Yeah, a little bit, kind of intraday. And usually I'm trying to transition more into an intraday swing trader because
To capture like more of the move?
yeah, a lot of the time I'll get in early and then I just take my pips and get out and I'll watch the market continue in my direction.
Like so much in your
yeah,
direction.
and that sucks. Like, yeah.
Because you're like, make $1,000, you're like, damn, this could have been 6K.
Especially when you catch the top or bottom of those big moves.
So I'm curious, as you're trying to expand the strategy, right, to go from just scalping to potentially intraday, what are the signals you're looking for? Like, how are you building up the decision-making power to stay in the trades? Like, what's contributing towards it?
I'd say the thing would be to zoom out a little bit, maybe stop trying to form my bias on the 4-hour and hourly, look at more daily and weekly, and just trust that the market's going to move to those points of structure. It will play out eventually, so build confidence that way.
Okay, so zooming out, getting on the higher time frames,
Yeah.
right, so that you're not so much in the weeds on it, right, so zoomed in.
Knowing when not to trade is a big thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you trade every day? Like, do you take a position every day?
Normally I will, multiple in and out, and that's not a healthy...
Good day when you take a trade.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun, right? It's fun, it's exciting, but that also can be to your not to your benefit.
Yeah, there's an element of gambling to that. Yeah.
Are you like, have you done any casino, like cards? You play any games or anything? Sports betting? Are you into any of that stuff?
Nothing like that, no casinos, but I am into sports like mountain biking, snowboarding, and there's an element of risk to that, so I'm
Of
okay
course.
with it. And
Adrenaline.
I feel like I thrive in that environment. That's what I'm looking for. I love the motivation. Yeah.
So you're living in an area where like you can do a lot of that, snowboarding, the mountain biking, all that stuff. You grew up in Utah?
Yeah, most of my life.
Okay, fair enough. Cool place. I've been out there quite a few times. I want to definitely go back. Are there a lot of traders kind of out where you live or no?
Not at all.
No.
Yeah. And
But there's crypto bros.
Yeah. Yeah, but I found out pretty quickly they weren't as well off as they portrayed. And like
Of course.
a lot of what you see on social media, it's not realistic. So I'm really trying to mature like my attitude in general and realize that you can't really solve a problem with the same level of thinking that you created it with. And when that was your introduction, that everybody's making tens of thousands of dollars, I'm just trying to adjust my mindset to, at least for me at this point in time, it's not realistic. I can get my couple percent a week and I'm good. I don't need more than that.
I think the goal of a lot of social media accounts are really to create the illusion of a reality that's so different than you, right? That's so attractive, where you're just like so encompassed by the idea of it, right? But it's not reality for a lot of people. Like it just really isn't. So it sounds like when you got into looking across accounts on social media, like it was extremely motivating. It kind of set this like crazy expectation for you, and then now you've kind of dialed it back, and you're like, wait, a lot of this shit isn't real.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, at first it was taking in as much information as I could, going down the rabbit hole, and now it's slowly starting to peel away the things that do and don't work for myself, and really just learning myself as a whole, and mastering my emotions, and just growing as a person in general.
So it sounds like you're trying to build confidence, right? You're trying to build confidence in trading, trying to build confidence in life. Like what are some of the things, at least trading wise, that helps you build confidence right now?
Sticking to your rules, knowing when you did everything you can and it plays out, it just helps build confidence that I'm on the right path. And then I guess in general, just trying to operate from a state of abundance, like become the source of what you seek. So I don't feel so bad about cutting losses, and I know that there's always more opportunities around the corner, so I'm not really reliant on one specific setup, just approaching it that way.
Do you have, speaking of the setups, do you have like a playbook of setups that you're looking for, per se? Like, how are you doing with like journaling and stuff like that?
I haven't been the best at journaling, but I guess when I got started, I've been chopping up all the failed accounts and everything as business expenses or my cost for education. So like I've reached the point where I'm going to continue to take these challenges until I make it work. Like there's no other options for me.
No turning back.
Yep. And it worked out. Like after I got my 13K in payouts, I'm in the green total on all my challenges and even my account flips in the last 4 years. So it just takes a few months.
That must feel good.
It feels great. So there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I think when you're, like I saw this post on Twitter yesterday, and it was this girl talking about her accounts purchased over the last year, and she like had 30 accounts. She passed 4 of them, right? And she got like 2 payouts or something. And she was still in the red, right? And when you're in the red, it could seem as though there's no light at the end of the tunnel, right? Like that in my mind is the hardest period. Like it's easy to get started with trading, right? It's easy to jump into it and be super excited and this and that. But once you've been in it a little while and you end up down, that's when it's really hard, right? Because you're down, you think you might be wasting time, right? Like how did you navigate that whole situation?
I just really started to see my breakthrough with TFT. So I think I got about 6 accounts total, and then I had basically a 4-month winning streak and just went on my run. So
let's go.
The more confidence I built in myself and just chaos that I eliminated from my life, the better my trading results were as a whole. So.
And when was that 4-month winning streak?
It was from just this last 4 months, actually.
Let's go.
Yeah, really recent.
Good for you, man. That's exciting.
Yeah, and got the account scaling, and so it's real. That's all I needed.
What did you think when you like requested a payout, right? Did you have doubts? Like I'm always curious what people think in that moment.
Yeah, I know there's like scrutiny of the industry as a whole, especially with the my Forex fund situation and everything. And I did trade with some of the other firms before, but I just had my breakthrough with you guys, and I got all 4 payouts and right away. I haven't had any issues at all. The support team's great. So yeah, I feel like you guys actually want your traders to win around here. There's that element of, support, and it helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that in terms of the model, right? Everyone knows that generally within a market, there's a transfer from the impatient to the patient, right? I think for us, the most important thing is how do we set up the conditions in a way that's advantageous for the trader, right, that simulates the live market as closely as possible? How do we set up the rules for the challenges in a way that's not too risky for the business, right? It is able to sustain the business model. At the end of the day, if the trader wins, it's to the benefit of the company, right? Mm-hmm. There's obviously a balance of if we offer a product that's too attractive, then there's no margin for the business to keep running. But I think we've done a good job of trying to balance all the rules, try to balance all the conditions to make something that's favorable, not try to fuck people over, and try to give people the best opportunity. At the end of the day, it's not easy, no matter which way you shake it, right? Mm-hmm. It's not an easy situation. So for us, it's great to hear that you have that experience, that you feel as though we're trying to do our best for you guys, because again, like the momentum and the growth, it all comes from this feedback. You're having that experience, you're probably telling somebody else about your experience, right? That energy is the energy that we want to have. We want everyone to have as good of an experience as possible. So yeah, that's awesome. We want to definitely double down on that, definitely find more ways to create that experience for everyone. But listen, it's not easy, right? This is like essentially becoming, or is, a financial institution. I mean, just think about the emotions involved with all of this money at stake, right? Like you're waiting for a payout that's 4K, 5K. I mean, that could be life-changing for you. So the stakes are pretty high when it comes to getting support and all this stuff. So yeah, it's not easy, for sure. Yeah. So shout out the support team for taking care of the people and all that, right? I know they're trying to level up and everything, and shout out to you guys. I mean, you're patient, right, with everything. So shout out to you guys for really sticking with us. Like, it means a lot, to be honest. So what can TFT do? I know you have some good feedback. What can TFT do to improve over these next couple months? If you were the CEO of TFT, what would you do?
Maybe the trading conditions as far as swaps, but there's only so much you guys can control in that aspect. But I like that there's
swaps are big on ACAP.
Yeah. But then the low barrier to entry, that was what drew me to you guys and the promotions and all that to begin with. And yeah, honestly, I think it's great. I think it'll continue to evolve as the company grows, and I'm just here for the journey.
Let's go.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, what do you think TFT can become? Because we're still early. Even though TFT is pretty big, we're still early, right? So what do you think TFT can become in the world?
I would hope it's the go-to name for the simulated trading industry. And
let's go, simulated.
Yeah, with like what you guys are doing here, the podcast for the traders and stuff, I just feel like it'd be, like the hub for traders that are really making it happen.
Yeah, and go from the people doing account flips to actually making some real money in the industry. So one thing that we want to do, I think that could be popular and could be beneficial, is creating more like a network of people. So trying to bring more like-minded people together, right? We had done the event earlier this year, the mastermind event, where we got a lot of the top traders to come together and to be able to just connect and share their ideas. I know a lot of them left that event and have stayed connected. Some of them have even created businesses now together and stuff like that. So I think that's one of the big things that TFT can do. It sounds like for you, right, you're kind of in the middle, of Utah. There's a lot of other traders. So if we could potentially connect you with other people, that could be very beneficial for your career and everything like that. So
yeah, exactly.
That's one thing that we want to focus on. But yeah, like I asked him this. I mean, what's for some beginners out there, right, that are really struggling with the challenges right now? What can you tell them to, make a difference with their results?
I would say just take it slow. There's always another trade. You don't get rich overnight. This is a long-term game, and be as disciplined as you can. Follow your rules. Try and only trade your session, and know when not to trade also. So the best advice I could give would be just learn yourself and try and figure out what works for you and really double down on that.
So literally everyone's saying this, the rules, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone's saying stick to your rules. How long did it take you from when you started to where you're at now? Like how many years, how many months to actually create rules?
It's still a daily thing. I'm adjusting as I go. So you can go off tilt pretty easy. So as soon as you see that money, you know that's where the greed comes in and all the emotions. So just try and have a solid foundation. So
And when you're scalping, like it's going up and down like crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, and if you have that foundation, you have something to fall back on, something to keep you in check. So
fair enough. So in terms of goals, let's talk about some goals for you. Obviously this year's about to wrap up.
Yeah.
What are some goals for 2024 trading wise?
Trading wise, I want to try and reach the max allocation. I don't want to merge them. I'd like to have a couple different accounts and have multiple income streams. So so I can take as much pressure off my trading as possible. And obviously it is a goal to be trading long term, but I don't want to specifically rely on my trading income. So I feel like it takes a lot of the stress off of it that way. Yeah, that's the main thing.
I agree with that too. I think a lot of people, the dream is to like trade full time, but I think trading full time is a lot sexier than it actually is. You know,
the idea of it.
I think the idea of it is sexy, but then like when you're, in that position where you're alone and it's just like you, the charts all the time, it's a whole other level of psychology at that point. Right. So I do think the balance of having other businesses and other things to do is extremely important to counterbalance the psychology of trading personally. So you're still working full time, right? And you're in the oil industry. So when would you potentially transition out of that, right? What would it take?
I don't want to be in the oil industry more than another year or two. So I'm just working on building my nest egg as much as I can and then build my confidence in trading. And as I see those other streams of income start to roll in, I'll slowly start to go more part-time at my job until I can put my energy and attention elsewhere.
What would be another stream of income that you'd potentially get into?
I'm still working on that.
You're figuring that part out?
Performance coach.
You said last night some mushrooms or something?
Dude, I did an ayahuasca retreat, and it really helped me learn myself. And
fair enough.
It was about a year ago, and I really started to get some traction in my trading after going through that experience. Just helped me detach and just look at things from a more logical standpoint and just learn myself. Yeah, it was really beneficial for me.
You feel like it quelled these limiting beliefs that you had?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking you created it with. So when I'm operating from more of a place of abundance, just in general, I see more opportunities. I'm not I feel a lot more comfortable cutting trades. I'm not so reliant on just on my trades daily on a day-to-day basis.
So this ayahuasca experience, do you feel like it was like a flip of a switch type thing when you went through it?
It kind of just brought awareness on the things that I need to work on. So it's not an easy thing by any means. I just really had to sit there and deal with myself and my own personal battles. And then slowly as I've overcome those things, I've just been able to progress as a whole in my trading. So
it allowed you to have a lot of introspection and reflection on what potentially was holding you back and what potentially was holding a lot of space in your mind that you should let go of.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
And also financially with my job, I'm in a much better place as far as money goes. So I'm not trying to flip accounts like I was when I was an electrician doing the construction thing.
How old are you again?
28.
28. Okay, fair enough. Same age as me.
Yep.
Let's go.
So the more secure I am in the other areas of my life, the better my trading performance is.
That's something that I can very much agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more secure that you are, the better decisions you're going to make.
Exactly.
I've heard a lot of traders that talk about leveraging credit cards to purchase challenges and all that. That stuff is reckless, right? So, I think that can you be successful doing that? Sure, right? There's stories about it, but it's a lot more likely that you're going to end up in a bad situation.
Yeah, exactly.
With all of that stuff. So on the mushroom front, right? Do you take mushrooms at all when you're trading or no?
No, not at all. It's kind of just a couple of those experiences that have helped me disconnect and then come back a better trader.
Well, I'm not sure. Some people do the microdosing, and then other people just do a more heavy dose of the experience, right? So for you, no microdosing.
Not really. I've tried, but I don't see much benefit.
Fair enough. But you think it's something that can be beneficial for people?
I think so. Just to learn yourself as a whole.
Yeah, I think so too. I think with the way that things are moving, it's going to become probably available. I mean, it is going to be available, right, for people to medicate with and it's going to be like a therapeutic thing for people to use within our lifetime, for sure. So very interested to see how that ends up playing out and how many people get involved in it. But would you do the ayahuasca? I know ayahuasca is like a little more serious, right? Would you do that again?
Not at this point. Right now I'm on grind mode.
That shit must have been serious.
Yeah, it really kind of scared me straight. Puts things into perspective. I have a 5-year-old son, and I just want to do well for him and my family.
Yep.
Those have their time and place, but yeah.
Fair enough.
It was kind of a shaking up the snow globe type of experience and laying down some fresh footprints now.
Isn't that crazy that whenever your son gets a little bit older, how you're going to be telling him that you were trading on TFT?
Yeah. I already have him looking at the charts with me. He's my little junior analyst.
Let's go. Your junior analyst. You got the firm going.
Yeah.
Let's go. Start him up young. What would be your approach to getting him involved in trading potentially when he gets older?
I just want to introduce him to a mindset where he doesn't have to rely on a job. Let him know there's other opportunities out there. So even if it's not from trading, I just want to set that example that he can really do anything he puts his mind to, whatever it may be. And if I can succeed at something like trading, it's the hardest way to make easy money. It's not easy by any means. So if you can be successful doing this, you can be successful anywhere. Yeah.
This is very much listen, you're a blue collar job. Trading is the complete opposite.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's white collar. It's in the mind entirely. So you're living in two very different worlds. Right. So, knowing the difference between the blue collar, which you're experiencing firsthand, and then the white collar, which you're now experiencing firsthand, right? It sounds like your mindset is shifting towards like, hey son, like there are these things out here, these careers out here, these skills out here that you can create that you don't necessarily need to work. This is blue collar. Yeah, that sounds like that's what the goal is.
Yeah. That's how I was raised. The people in my family that have some kind of decent money have construction businesses, but you can see as they get older, their bodies wearing down. They're always working. They don't have much time to spend with their family and stuff, and that's my priority.
Fair enough. Well, you have a great opportunity to do so. The road's not going to be easy by any means.
But it's worth it.
So before we wrap it up, definitely want to give you the opportunity, anything that you want to say to the people, that you want to give as motivation, whatever. Any last words for them?
Just stay dedicated. If I can do it, anybody can. This is real. If you work hard, the benefits will come. So just hang in there.
Yeah, I like what you said. This is real, and it's getting realer by the day. It's getting realer by the day. At this point, we've paid out $120 million to traders throughout the world, right? So for me, again, it's a blessing to connect with another person who you're rising up, you're looking to change your life through hard work, through discipline, through changing the mind, like you said, trying to navigate these problems. That's the purpose of this platform, is to give people with skills the opportunity to make a difference and to get the results that they're looking for, and to not put a limit on their potential. So looking forward to seeing where you go with this. The power is in your hands. And like I said, hey, we're going to give you an account as well. And we'll see if you'll come back for another podcast, in a couple months from now.
Awesome. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys. You're changing lives out here.
That's the goal.
I'm stoked to be part of the team.
Let's go. Well, thank you guys for watching the podcast, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Let's go. Let's get it.